Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's class. So just a friendly reminder to let you know, and well, also you have it clear that in order to be in this class, you need to have your camera on, okay? I know that probably this is something that I keep repeating, but it is necessary to have a good development of the class, okay? So please, I'm gonna ask to turn all of your cameras so we can start with today's class and I can start passing the attendance. Okay, I'm waiting for Scarlett, Paulette, Gianna, Juan Cedeño, Elizabeth, Omar Tomalá, Camila, Kevin, Álvaro Lara, Isabel Almeida, María Llagos. So I can start with the class, otherwise I'm not gonna start passing the attendance, please. Álvaro Lara, you there? Kevin, Kevin Solís, Elizabeth Ramírez, María Llagos, Paulette Castillo. Okay, guys. So today we are in the very first day of our 5th week of classes. Just remember that our level, our course, it's 8 weeks, okay? So because of that, I would like to remind you something. Because I want to give you like probably, this is going to be a date, the date where we will have the final quiz. Okay, so let me just try to tell you, okay? So right now we are on our week number 5. This is gonna be week number 6. This is gonna be week number 7. And this is gonna be week number 8. So this means that this is gonna be, I'm sorry, this is Saturday. Okay, so I'm sorry, just let's go to, okay, so I was right here, right? We are on today's class. This is week number 5, right? This is gonna be week number 6. This is gonna be week number 7, December the 2nd and December 3rd. And this is gonna be week number 8, Saturday, yeah, it's gonna be Saturday and Sunday. So this is gonna be our last day of the course. So that means that on this day, December 10th, probably we will have our final quiz. Okay? This is my prediction. I haven't received any confirmation from the coordination of La Academia de Idiomas. But if things just go in the way that they have been managing, we are going to have until classes until this day. This is going to be our last day of class. And right here, we will have our final quiz. Okay? So once again, this is not a confirmation. This is me only telling you to be ready because most likely we are going to have the final quiz right here. Once the coordination of La Academia de Idiomas, it's telling you, hey, Andrea, this is the exact day, and I receive a confirmation, I will let you know, and I will upload the date on the Moodle platform, okay? Okay.
Una pregunta.
George, yes.
No sé si entendí bien, pero trató de decir que el 9 de diciembre es la última clase y el 10 de diciembre sería el examen.
Correct.
Ya, gracias.
You're welcome, George.
Yo tengo una pregunta.
Yes, go ahead.
Miss, entonces, el Alticia debe estar terminado hasta el sábado 9, ¿verdad?
Yes, correct. That is something that you should be, and thank you for telling me that because that reminds me something that I have to tell you. So just as Camila said, your limit to complete the 100% progress on Alticia, it's until that Saturday, it's December 9th. So you still have like, I wanna say like 3 weeks to work on Alticia. And right now I'm gonna check this because let's remember that in order to have the 2 possible points of Alticia grading category, you need to have 100% on your level. So just let me open this so you can be really sure about the thing that I'm mentioning. Give me a second because this is the presentation I show you on the first day. Okay, this is the thing I was telling you, right? You have 10 possible points to get doing this course, right? And this is the grading category. This is something that I already shared with you, but this is me just refreshing this content, right? The final evaluation that probably we will have on December 10th will have 4 points, or also know at 40% of possible 10 points, okay? Now, class participation, that it's basically if you have your camera on, if you are doing the Moodle activities, that it's gonna be 20%, means 2 points, 2 out of 10 points. Alticia, if you get all of the progress of your program, 100%, only in that matter you're going to have the 2 points. Y lo digo en español. El progreso de Alticia tiene que ser 100%. 100% va a equivaler a 10. Si nomás llegan a 90%, 9. Si llegan a 70%, 7, ¿verdad? Y a eso se le sacará el 20%. Okay? So, knowing this, I was checking some of your progress. And I'm gonna, okay, so, well, Frank Sanmache, he's not coming to the class on time, so probably that is why he hasn't progressed in Alticia at all. Okay, right here in the case of Monica, I mean, this is the time that she has spent in the platform, but let's see the progress, okay? Remember that you can see your progress by yourself. You are aware of that. Okay, this is something that was happening before. Okay, there we go. So this is the total progress in this case of Monica, right? She is on level A2 and she has 12%. Still, we have 3 weeks ahead. So you have time to complete this. So please, guys, just try to progress because let's remember, this is easy peasy. This is like really easy points to obtain. You just need to invest sometimes on it, okay? English is not only Miss Andrea telling you how to structure the past progressive or the present progressive. Yeah, that is only one tiny part of your whole progress. In order to get better in English, you need to do things by yourself. Equals, you can practice right here. Alticia, it's a really good tool, a really good resource that you can apply to get better. This is not only because it's mandatory, or this is not only because Miss Andrea wants to annoy you or bother you. No, this is because you need to practice not only on Saturdays and on Sundays. You need to practice as well by yourself, okay? So please have you need to have some time between weeks so you can progress in this, okay? Do you have any question, guys, before I start passing the attendance? Okay, let me just check.
Miss,
Yes,
Andrea,
ajá,
buenos días. Yo tengo otra pregunta. Respecto al fin de semana que no tuvimos clase,
ajá.
eso no le han dicho nada si vamos a recuperar.
No he recibido ninguna información. De igual manera estamos bien con los tiempos porque se supone que nosotros debemos cubrir 1,5 unidades por clase y es lo que hemos estado haciendo. Entonces, no estamos mal de tiempo. Yo creería que no va a haber recuperación. No me han comunicado nada, pero me atrevería a decir que no creería que haya recuperación porque sería algo que ya nos hubieran dicho hasta el momento. ¿Sí?
Ok, gracias.
Miss,
Ajá.
disculpe, respecto a la evaluación, ¿es virtual o presencial?
Es virtual, todo es virtual. Las clases virtuales y la evaluación virtual. No tienen que moverse a ningún lado.
Gracias.
Ok, se les ha ido la luz. A mí se me quiso ir la luz, pero se fue como un segundo, pero aparentemente no pasó nada.
Sí, eso también le estaba diciendo porque me pasó lo mismo.
Sí, yo creo, no sé, y no creo que vivamos todos lo que les ha pasado tan cerca, o sea, ha sido a nivel, no diría nacional, pero al menos de ciudad. Ok, una
Sí,
vez
aquí también.
también, ¿viste?
Un segundo se fue.
Sí, a lo mismo me pasó, por eso es que me quedé viendo acá, se apagó el aire, pero por suerte no se fue el internet, que es lo importante. Elizabeth Ramirez, please, your camera. I don't know if you are connected on 2 devices, but okay, thank you very much. Paulette Castillo, same thing. Paulette, are you there? Can you hear me? Paulette Castillo, ¿estás ahí? So I'm gonna...
Hi, Miss.
Paulette.
Ya prendo la cámara.
Okay,
Ujú.
thank you. Okay, guys, I'm gonna start passing the attendance right now, okay? So please, this is something that I'm always gonna tell you. Remember that present is not a word or a term that it's appropriate to say that you are there. That it's only for Spanish, presente. Yeah, that is in Spanish, no in English, okay? So I'm gonna write this right here. Present, no, okay? With red because this is not something that you should be using in English. You can use hello, you can use good morning, you can use here. This is the most common one, or you can always use hi as well. So let's start. Yanela Acosta.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Yanela. Thank you. Franks Almache. Franks Almache. Isabel Almeida.
Good morning.
Morning, Isabel. Mónica Añasco.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Mónica. Thank you. Judith Avilés.
Hi.
Hi, Judith. Diana Cañizares.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Diana. Thank you. Elías Castillo.
Here, teacher.
Thank you, Elías. Paulette Castillo.
Hi, Miss. Present.
I can see a cat on Monica's camera. Okay, Paulette Castillo, there we go. Juan Diego Cedeño, Juan Cedeño.
Morning, teacher.
Good morning, Juan, thank you. Kevin Cruz.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Kevin, thank you. Nancy Cruz.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nancy. Cristel Díaz.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Cristel. Melanie Huarco.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Melanie. Jorge Jara. Jorge Jara. Jessica Lima. Jessica Lima. Álvaro Lara.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Álvaro. Kenia Miño.
Good morning, teacher.
Kenia, thank you. Andrea Molina. Andrea Molina. Dayana Moreno.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Dayana. George Núñez.
Here.
Thank you, George. María Parra.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, María. Elizabeth Ramírez.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Byron Reyes. Byron Reyes. Cristel Saldarriaga.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cristel. Helen Romo.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Helen. Sebastián Rodríguez. Sebastián Rodríguez. Diana Sánchez.
Good morning, President.
Good morning,
Sorry,
Diana.
here.
Thank you, Diana. Kevin Sánchez.
Good morning.
Thank you, Kevin. Camila Santa Cruz.
Hi, Miss. Good morning.
Hi, Camila. Sandra Santín.
Hi, teacher. Present.
Hi, Sandra. Thank you. Ricardo Sobrevilla. Ricardo Sobrevilla. Kevin Solís.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Kevin. Scarlett Takuri.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Scarlett. Omar Tomalá.
Good morning, present, teacher.
Good morning, Omar. Daniela Vélez.
Teacher, present.
Thank you, Daniela. Yael Vera.
Here, Miss.
Thank you, Yael. Marcela Villegas.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Marcela. María Llagos.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Maria. Aldair Zambrano.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Aldair. Thank you. Justin Zamora. Justin Zamora. Okay, I'm gonna do a roll call just in case any of the previous absent students arrive. Franz Almache, Jorge Jara, Jessica Lima, Andrea Molina. Jessica Lima, okay. Good morning. So this is Alvaro, and this is Jessica. Andrea Molina, Byron Reyes, Sebastián Rodríguez, Ricardo Sobrevilla, Justin Zamora. Okay, guys, let's start then with the progress in our book, okay? So let me just close this. Remember that you have access to this presentation. It's right here just below the class resources, right here. So on today's class, we will go with Unit 3C. Okay, this is the unit that right now we will cover. Now, once again, please listen carefully, guys. If I don't tell you to do an activity, don't do it. Just do the activities that I tell you, guys. We are gonna do this activity, okay? Just avoid to do any activity that has not been assigned. So this is the content on today's class. So I'm gonna ask Juan Cedeño, can you please read the title of Unit 3C?
What's the word?
Correct. Thank you very much, Juan. So yes, that is the name of today's our first unit. So as usual, we have 3 different sections that we will cover. On the grammar section, we will cover defining relative clauses. Relative clauses, it's the main topic. Into the vocabulary section, we will check expressions for paraphrasing, like, for example, paraphrasing, parafrasear, that thing that you have to do on your thesis dissertation, right? So that is the same thing. Pronunciation section, pronunciation in a dictionary. Okay, so let's move on and let's go with the first activity that will be related with a listening activity. Okay, let me just turn on this. So right now, I'm gonna play this audio for you. Okay, just pay attention to the content on the audio. So we have listen to the introduction to a TV game show. So we are gonna be listening to a game show, just as Who Wants to Be Millionaire? ¿Quién quiere ser millonario? That is a game show, okay? What's the word? In this case, the name of the TV show is What's the Word? And right here, we are gonna be listening on how do you play the game. Okay, so let's listen and then we can continue.
2.2.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's the Word? And our first contestants tonight are Martin and Lola. Hello to you both. Are you nervous?
Just a bit.
Well, just try and relax and play What's the Word with us. If you're watching the show for the first time, here's how we play the game. As you can see, Martin has a TV screen in front of him, and 6 words are going to appear on the screen. Martin has 2 minutes to describe the words to Lola so that she can guess what they are. But he can't use any part of the words on the screen. So, for example, if the word is taxi driver, He can't use the word taxi or driver or drive. Martin, Lola, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so first question, any of you that knows the answer can raise your hand, okay? So this is an easy one. What's the name of the show? Anyone that knows the answer, please raise your hand. What's the name of the show? Anybody? Nancy Cruz, what's the name of the show?
What's the word?
Correct. We have the answer right here, even though we are listening to this right here also, okay? Thank you very much, Nancy. So next question. What's the name of the participants? We have 2 participants. Were you able to catch the names? Camila.
Martin and Lola.
Correct, Martin and Lola. Those are the 2 participants that we have. Great job, Camila. Thank you very much. And finally, you don't need to be too elaborate with your answer of the following question. Okay, you can be as brief and as simple as you want to. How do you play the game? How do you play the game show What's the Word? Do you have any idea? Okay, I'm gonna play the audio once again, and now, okay, we have Maria de Los Angeles. So Maria de Los Angeles, how do you play the game?
Describing the objects
You're
that
gonna,
the presentador
yes,
the 10 to 1 participants.
okay, there are gonna be words that you have to describe, right? Were you able to catch how many words do you have to describe? 1, 2, 3, any of you?
6.
6, correct. Camila also raised her hands, but Juan said 6 words. So that's the game about, okay? So in the next activity, we are gonna continue listening to the show. But in this case, we are gonna be listening to the 6 words, okay? So let's go with the first activity, 1B. Okay, this is the first activity that is also related with listening skills. I have 1 attempt. I don't know who did it, but please do not move forward unless I tell you to move forward, okay? So right here, you have an audio of 2 minutes and 18 seconds. So right here, this person, it's gonna start describing those words. You're gonna try to guess the words that they are basically saying, describe. Okay, so let's listen one time the audio, and then we can try to tell the correct words. So let's listen.
2.3.
Martin, Lola, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Martin, you have 2 minutes to describe your 6 words, starting now.
Okay, word number 1. It's a person. It's somebody who works in a hospital.
A doctor.
No. It's the person who helps the doctor and looks after the patients.
Oh,
That's right.
Okay, I have 2 hands. I guess that you know the answer. So Camila, what's the first word?
Nurse.
Correct. It's a nurse, right? We don't have, I mean, first of all, this Lola is saying a doctor, but Martin said, no, it's not a doctor. It's the person who helps the doctor. So basically, that is the definition for a nurse, okay? So we have nurse. That is the first one. Great catch, Camila. Let's go with number 2, okay? As you probably noticed, we don't have the word, right? They are describing the word. So your duty, your task is try to guess what's the word being described.
Word number 2. It's a place. It's somewhere where people go when they want to buy things.
A shop?
Not exactly. It's bigger, and you can buy all kinds of different things there, especially food. Yes, well done.
Okay, so Jael, what's the word?
Chair.
What?
Chair.
Chair? No, it's not chair. No, in the audio, we are hearing that is a place where we can buy things. And then they say, Lola said, a shopping, and Marta said, no, it's bigger. You can go to that place whenever you want to buy food, okay? So I'm gonna give the chance to Jana. Jana, go ahead.
Supermarket.
Supermarket, yes. Similar to Supermaxi, similar to El Tutti, okay? So that is what it's been described, okay? So let's go with the next word.
Okay, word number 3. It's a thing... It's something which we use for everything nowadays. For the internet, for talking to people, for taking photos. It's a kind of gadget. Everyone has one. That's it.
Okay, that was word number 3. So I'm gonna go with you, Camila. Just give me a second. But I want to know if somebody else probably knows what the answer is. He's talking about, do not say the word, just raise your hand. If you know the answer, raise your hand just as Camila did. Okay, so they are describing a gadget. A gadget. I don't know if you guys remember this. That is a really old TV show. Inspector Gadget, right? Gadget. Okay, I'm gonna tell you in a bit what is a gadget. Something that we use nowadays to take pictures, to talk with somebody else, okay? So I'm gonna go with Maria de Los Angeles. And then, of course, I really appreciate, Camila, that you know the answer, but let me give the opportunity to somebody else, okay? Do not feel that I'm rejecting you. So Maria de Los Angeles, according to you, number 3, what is it?
Cell phone.
It could be cell phone, yes, but in this case, remember that in
Mobile.
UK, yes, it's mobile. So both of them, it's good, right? But just in this particular case, we are gonna be using mobile. We can say iPhone, we could say cell phone, we can say phone, right? But all of them are correct. So number 3, it's a mobile, okay? Now, let's hear number 4.
Word number 4. It's an adjective. It's the opposite of dark.
Light.
It's like light, but you only use it to describe hair. Yes.
That is a tricky one. That is a tricky one. I'm gonna play it once again, okay? But I do have anywhere like the answer. So Kenya, your hand is up as well. You wanna say it? Okay, so according to you, what's the answer?
Blonde.
Blonde. Correct. We're referring to hair, right? Blonde. This is not blonde. This is brunette. I don't think I do have any blonde student, but for example, Scarlett Johansson, she's blonde, okay? That is the word reference. So thank you very much, Kenya. Now, let's continue with number 5.
Word number 5. It's an adjective again. You use it to describe a person who's quick at learning things.
Intelligent?
No, but it's similar to intelligent. It's the opposite of stupid. Yes, brilliant.
Okay, anybody? Camila?
I think that is smart.
It could be smart. I think that smart will be a good answer. But can you think in some other word similar to this? We have intelligent, we have smart, and we have a third one. Nancy Cruz.
Clever.
Clever, that is the one. Again, smart, it's also correct, but in this particular case, the book is asking us to say clever, okay? So all of those are synonyms, similar words, smart, clever, intelligent. Now, let's continue with number 6. Let's hear it.
And word number 6, the last one. Okay, it's a verb. For example, you do this to the TV.
Watch?
No, it's what you do when you finish watching TV at night.
Go to bed?
No, come on. You do it to the TV before you go to bed.
Oh!
Yes!
Okay, what do you think about the last one? Do I have any volunteer? They are referring to a TV, a television. It's something that you do before you go to bed, to the television. So Kenya.
Turn off.
Turn off, correct. Turn off, it's whenever you put away that device, right? If you want to start watching television, you are gonna be saying turn on. But in this case, Kenya's guess, it's correct, okay? So I was telling you about gadget. So let me, so gadget, okay? So a gadget, it's like the tablet.
Gadget.
Gadget, correct. So gadget, it's tablets, iPads. You can also consider gadget, the smartwatch. All of these are gadgets, okay? Dispositivos, that is it, okay? So that is what they are mentioned right here. Now that we know the answers, I'm gonna play the audio once again so you can get familiar with the description of each of these words, okay? Let's listen.
Miss,
Justin, Justin, I'm in the middle of the class. You just arrived, so you have to wait, okay?
Okay.
2.3.
Martin, Lola, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Martin, you have 2 minutes to describe your 6 words, starting now.
Okay, word number 1. It's a person. It's somebody who works in a hospital.
A doctor.
No, it's the person who helps the doctor and looks after the patients.
Oh,
That's right. Word number 2. It's a place. It's somewhere where people go when they want to buy things.
a shop?
Not exactly. It's bigger, and you can buy all kinds of different things there, especially food. Yes, well done. Okay, word number 3. It's a thing. It's something which we use for everything nowadays. For the internet, for talking to people, for taking photos. It's a kind of gadget. Everyone has one. That's it. Word number 4. It's an adjective. It's the opposite of dark.
Light.
It's like light, but you only use it to describe hair. Yes. Word number 5. It's an adjective again. You use it to describe a person who's quick at learning things.
Intelligent?
No, but it's similar to intelligent. It's the opposite of stupid. Yes, brilliant. And word number 6, the last one. Okay, it's a verb. For example, you do this to the TV.
Watch?
No, it's what you do when you finish watching TV at night.
Go to bed?
No, come on. You do it to the TV before you go to bed.
Oh!
Yes!
Okay, So do not forget to click into finish the attempt, guys. And remember that all of the words, they don't have capital letter. Just go with lowercase, okay? Don't do this because otherwise they are gonna be marked as wrong, okay? Okay, so I have noticed that Justin Zamora, Jorge Jara, and Byron Reyes just arrived, okay? Right now, I'm not gonna pass attendance, but I know that you guys are right here. So you are gonna have your second hour of attendance, okay? Not the first one because I already passed first one. So Justin, Jorge, and Byron, you're gonna have your second hour of attendance, okay? I'm gonna keep controlling that all of you guys are right here, please. Just the fact that I already passed attendance doesn't mean that you have the attendance for the whole 4 hours, okay? Keep that in mind.
Teacher,
Sandra.
por favor, ¿me podría habilitar esta actividad que se acabó de hacer? Lo que pasa es que yo la semana pasada por error la abrí. Cuando estuvimos en clase.
Tú fuiste la de...
Sí,
la de-
teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. Muchas gracias.
You're welcome. So this is... Oh, you were right there. Okay, now you're gonna be able to do it. Okay, guys, before we go to the next activity, I would like to tell you something about the main topic. Yeah, just give me a second, Scarlett. I wanna tell you about the main topic of the grammar section. We will talk about relative clauses. Scarlett.
Discúlpeme, es que la interrumpa. Y también habilitarme otra vez. Es que lo que pasa es que me equivoqué en una letra y me saqué mal la calificación.
Okay,
Solo por uno.
this is not only for you, Scarlett, this is for everyone, okay? As you can see, I'm doing the activity with you guys, so you don't have to go through these mistakes, right? So please be watch out with any of the possible mistakes that you can have, okay? Because time, it's golden, and I need the time to move on, okay? So please try to be really careful with the progress of any of your activities. Okay, now, as I was telling you, I'm gonna right now tell you something about this particular topic, okay? Relative clauses. So Justin Zamora, can you please read the concept or the definition of relative clauses? This is this information right here.
Relative clauses give us information about the person of teams mentioned. Relative clause give us essential information.
Thank you
This
very
is
much.
one.
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Justin, for reading the definition of relative clauses. Remember that all of these things probably you are already familiar with, but right now we are giving these things, this content names, because you're gonna notice that this is something that you are already familiar with. So let's see how these relative clauses work. So right here you have a woman, right? So I have that let's find more information about her. So if I want to describe her, I can tell you she's the woman who lives next door. So this who, in this case, it's the relative clause. Ella es la mujer quien vive o que vive en la puerta al lado o que vive al lado. Okay, so that is the relative clause. Let's see the next example. This is a park. That's it. That is the information I'm telling you. But if I want to give you more information about this part, I can tell you something like this. That's the part where I wrong. Where in this particular case, it's the relative clause. That's the part where I wrong. Now, okay, I want to say you something, and please pay attention. Let me move this right here so we can have it. Okay, there we go. We have tons of relative clauses. We have who, we have where, we have which, we have that. But of course, depending on the scenario, we use each of these relative clauses. For example, whenever we are talking about people, just as the example right here, we're talking about a woman, right? So right here, whenever we talk about men, women, kids, or any person, we have to use who. For example, she's the woman who cuts my hair. Who cuts my hair. Now, we can also use that in this case, but it's gonna be a bit more informal, okay? Both of them are gonna be valid. Both of them are gonna be correct. So I could say, she's the woman that cuts my hair. So in this case, I can say, he's the man that I met at the conference, or I can also say, he's the man who I met in the conference. So remember, whenever we talk about people, we can either use who or that. Now, let's go with the next relative clause, which. Whenever we talk about things, gadgets, cell phones, houses, anything, we can use which. The laptop which I bought last week is amazing. Now, in this case, I can also replace this which with that. And it's gonna be the same scenario that we did it right here. That is a bit more informal, but still is valid. So I could say, the laptop that I bought last week is amazing. Next example, the camera that costs $100 is broken. So right here, I could say the camera which costs $100 or dollars is broken. Now, only in these two cases, it is appropriate to use that. Only whenever we talk about people or things. Because let's move on into the next relative clauses. Whenever we use when, we use it to refer to a time expression. Jorge Jara, are you there? Jorge Jara?
Here.
Okay. Jorge, can you please read this sentence right here?
Okay, summer is the season when I am happiest.
Thank you very much, Jorge. So just as Jorge just read, summer is the season when I'm happiest. I'm referring to a time expression. That time expression is summer, the season. I could say Christmas is the holiday when I'm happiest. So again, I'm referring to a time expression. Because of that, I'm gonna be using when. So in this case, I'm not gonna say summer is the season that I'm happiest. This is incorrect. In this case, that is not appropriate. Just as I was mentioned you before, in this case, it's not appropriate. Only whenever we talk about things and people. Now, we have this next one. Where? This is the next relative clause. Paulette Castillo, Kevin Solis, Gianna Sanchez, and George, please, your cameras. So let's go with Byron Reyes. Byron Reyes, can you please read this sentence right here?
That the city where she live.
She lived. Byron, I cannot see any of you. I'm only seeing a black screen. So I don't know if you have an issue with your camera or you are in a really dark place. Byron, no puedo ver nada de tu cámara, veo oscuro. No sé si estás en un lugar oscuro o tu cámara tiene algún problema.
Creo que es mi cámara, se la lacto.
Okay, so I suggest that you fix that. Okay? Te sugiero por favor que procures revisar eso porque en temas de asistencia no estás tan bien, así que procuraría por favor tratar de arreglar este tipo de situaciones, ¿sí? Okay, so, well, just as Byron just read, right here we have the relative clause where. So this is whenever we talk about places, cities, shopping malls, any kind of place. So that's the city where she lived. So I can say also, my house is the place where my family lives. Okay, this is really obvious, but just to make a point, right? So because I'm talking about a house is a place, so I can use where in this case, okay? So for example, I cannot use it in this case. That's the city that she lives. So it doesn't make sense in this case because I'm referring to a city, right? And a city is a place. So that, once again, it's only appropriate for things and for people. Now, before we go into any further exercises on the book, so, Byron, veo que tu cámara ya está arreglada. Te pido, por favor, que si estás en un cuarto oscuro o vayas a un cuarto en donde haya luz o enciendas alguna luz. Te lo pido de la manera más amable y más comedida para que no se vea afectada ni tu participación ni tu asistencia. ¿Ok? So let's practice this, okay? Right here you have all of this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 sentences. And right here you have the possible relative clauses that you can use. So we have the first one. That's the princess. We're talking about a princess, like Princess Peach, like Princess Leia, right? We're talking about somebody. Live in a castle. Okay, so the possible relative clauses that I'm giving you is which, who, and where. Okay, so please, I'm gonna go with Sandra because Sandra hasn't participated. So Sandra, according to you, what's the correct answer?
Where?
Look, that's the princess. I'm referring to the princess right now.
That's the princess. Where live in castle?
No, because where it will be if I'm referring, en este caso yo no me estoy refiriendo al castillo. Yo me estoy refiriendo a la princesa. Okay? So I have princess. Princess is a person, right? So which one of this do we use whenever we have a person, Sandra?
That's the princess who live.
Correct. That's the princess who live. Yo me tengo que fijar sobre quién es el tema principal. ¿verdad? ¿Sobre quién me estoy refiriendo en primera instancia? No me tengo que dejar engañar por este castillo que está acá, que en teoría sí, es un lugar, pero yo en primera instancia me refiero to the princess, to a person, okay? So because of that, we can say that's the princess who lived in a castle. Also, I could say that's the princess that lived in a castle. Remember that with people, we can either use who or we can either use that. Okay? Now,
Okay.
thank you very much, Sandra. Now, let's go with the next one. So let's see. I do have some hands, so I'm gonna go with Jael. Jael, I have thanks for the chocolates you sent me. Which one do you think is the correct one?
Which?
Is which, correct. Oh, sorry. So, Yael, I'm asking you, with which, we can replace this which with another relative clause. Which one do you think it is?
To talk about things.
Yes, but no, I'm referring that, look, for example, right here, we can either use who or we can either use that. So in this case, we can use that as well or not?
No.
We can use it. Remember, whenever we talk about things, we can either use which or that. And since right here, I'm talking about chocolates are things, I can either say thanks for the chocolates which you sent me, or I can also go with thanks for the chocolates that you sent me. Both of those relative clauses are valid. Now let's go with sentence number 3. Juan Cedeño. Juan, can you please read the whole sentence and tell me, of course, what's the relative clause that you will use?
That's the city where we meet.
Oh, met, where we met, correct. Great job, thank you very much, Byron. I'm sorry, Juan. So we have where. That's the city where we met. We're talking about a place. So because of that, we use where. So Juan, can we use that right here or we cannot?
We cannot.
No, we cannot. That is not applied in the places. So only where. Thank you very much, Juan. Now let's continue with the next one. Cristel Saldarriaga, can you please read the whole sentence with the correct relative clause?
I have the other house is a doctor.
Correct. I'm talking about a person, right? A daughter. So because of that, who, it's appropriate. So Cristel, it will be appropriate for me to use that in this case?
Yes, that.
Correct. I can also use that. Remember, if I'm referring to a person or a thing, I can perfectly use that. Great job, Cristel. Thank you very much. And let's go with the last one. Scarlett Takuri, please read the last one.
That's the dog which is sick.
That's the dog which is sick. Correct. So in this case, this is a tricky one, right? Because for some of us, for me, a dog is basically a person. But if we talk about grammar, of course, that dog is a thing, right? It's like related to it. So because of that, it will be appropriate to go with which, okay? So my question for you, Scarlett, is appropriate in this case, is valid to use that or not?
Yes.
Correct, yes, be sure about it, just say yes, correct. So we can use it because whenever we talk about things or people, it is allowed to use that, okay? Now that you guys know this, remember that you have access to this, guys, okay? The link is on the Moodle platform. Let's do the next activity, this one right here. 2 grammar defining relative clauses. This is the activity that right now we will check it out, okay? Nobody has tried to attempt this, which is a good news. So I'm gonna ask Monica Ñasco, can you please read the instruction of this activity?
Look at 3 sentences from what the word and complete them with who, with, or what.
Correct. Thank you very much, Monica. So right here, you only have one possible answer, okay? It is your job to try to identify if it's who, which, or where in each of these gaps, okay? Let's have 2 minutes, and then if you want to participate, raise your hand. Okay, I'm gonna try to give the opportunity, the chance to the people that has not participated, okay? So do not feel bad, just keep putting your hand up, okay? Voy a darle oportunidad a las personas que no han participado, sin embargo, sigan alzando sus manos, aprecio bastante su participación, okay? So Melanie Huarco, can you please go with sentence number 1? Can you please read it with the correct relative clause?
It's something which people use to speak to another person.
Correct. So right here we have something. Basically, we're talking about a thing. So correct. Thank you very much, Melanie. Great catch. Now let's continue with, let me see. Dayana Moreno. Dayana, can you please go with number 2?
It's a place where people go when they want to go shopping.
Correct. So we're talking about a place. So of course we have to use where. Thank you very much, Dayana. And finally, let's go with Helen Romo. Number 3, please.
It's somebody was work in a hospital.
It's somebody who works in a hospital. Remember, the pronunciation of this is who. This one is which. And this one is where. Okay? Now, just click into finish the attempt. So we can move on into the next activity that it's going to be a bit more complex than this one right here. But it's, this is going to be related with relative clauses as well. So right here you have an explanation similar to the one that I already told you. Feel free to check it out, okay? So we have this activity is the one that we will develop. 1A. Kevin Cruz, can you please read the instruction of the activity?
Complete the definition with who, with, or where.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. So yes, right here you have these three options, right? Who, remember that this is related with people, where with places, and which with things. So right here you have 7 sentences, and you have to go and try to guess what's the correct relative clause for each sentence, okay? So I'm gonna give you 2 minutes so you can complete the gaps, okay? Okay, so let's start with the first one. Jael, let's go with you, okay? So please read number 1 and tell me the correct relative clause.
An octopus is an animal where lives in the sea and has 8 legs.
So you are using where? This one right here?
Yes, where?
So take a look, Jael, and pay really good attention. We're talking about octopus. Octopus, as you can see right here, it's an animal. Let's go and check how an octopus looks. Okay, so this is an octopus, right? It's delicious. If you eat it in ceviche, amazing, right? So it's an animal. So if we talk about an animal, remember that it's similar to talk about a thing. We use where when we talk about a place. So in this case, we're talking about an animal, Jael. It's nowhere the correct answer. So which one do you think it is? Who or which?
Which?
Correct. Which is the right answer. Right here, it will be appropriate also to use that. Remember that We can use that if we talk about things. Thank you very much, Yael. Now, let's see. Monica Añasco, number 2, please.
Lawnmower is a machine which cut the grass.
Correct. We're talking about a machine, a thing, right? If you want to check how a lawnmower looks like, once again, we have our friend Google. Always go to Google if you don't know what is the physical appearance of something. So this is basically, and if you want to know how to pronounce this, remember that you can also go to Google Translate. Feel free to use this kind of tools. That's why they are good if they are good used.
Lawnmower.
Lawnmower, okay? If you want to learn how to pronounce it, right here you have it. Lawnmower. So let's see.
Lawnmower.
Lawnmower, okay? So basically the name of this is gonna be like cortacésped, something like that. We don't use, like Ecuadorian people is not really using this kind of tools of machines, right? That is from people from UK, United States. So probably because of that, we are not familiar with this. Thank you very much, Monica. Let's continue with the next student, Sandra Santin. Number 3, please.
A waiter is the person who serves you in a coffee.
Correct. Waiter. I'm talking about that guys, those guys that goes, you know, around in the restaurants and they give you the coffee, they give you the food. A waiter. Okay. Great job, Sandra. Thank you very much. Let's continue with Scarlett Takuri, number 4, please.
Changing room is a room where people try on clothes.
Correct. It's a room where people try on clothes, right? Changing room. Also, changing room, it's the way people from UK, British people, knows the vestidores. But in North America, they say dressing rooms, okay? Dressing rooms, American English, changing rooms, UK or British English. Now let's continue with Melanie Huarco, number 5, please.
A porter is a person who helps you with your luggage.
Correct. Thank you very much. So we're talking about a person. So because of that, it is appropriate to use who. Now let's continue with Elizabeth Ramirez, number 6.
Garlic is a kind of food we keep vampires away.
Correct. Yes. This is a really weird example, but we're talking about garlic, right? And we're talking about vampires. So yes. So since somebody has his microphone on, I don't know who is it. I think that it's probably George. Okay. Thank you, George. So we have next one, number 7, and let's go with Maria Llagos.
A garage is a place where people fix cars.
Correct. A garage is a place where people fix cars. So we're talking about a place. So because of that, the relative clause that we have to use, it's where. Thank you very much, guys. So take a look on the answers so you can write them correctly, and do not forget to register your activity. Okay, next activity, it's also related, of course, with defining relative clauses. And in this case, we are gonna do this one right here. Grammar Bank 1B. Okay, Omar Tomala, can you please read the instruction of this activity?
Yes. Grammar band 1B, write the sentence with who, which, or where. Write the sentence with who, which, or where. Yes.
Thank you very much, Omar. So right here you have an example, right? As Omar was saying, you have to write the sentences, rewrite the sentences, but in this case, you will have to decide which relative clause is the appropriate depending on the context. So we have an example, right? You have she, the woman, catch the same bus as me. So because we're talking about a person, we know that we have to use the relative clause who. So we go, she is, this is the contraction, she is the woman, and right here we are adding the relative clause catches. Notice that we are talking about a woman, so we have to add es because it's third person, the same bus as me. Okay, let's do the first one so we can have a better understanding on how this activity works. Okay, I have some hands raised, so I don't know if you want to go with the first one. If you don't want to, just put it down. Okay. Okay, so Camila, according to you, how would you do the first one?
That's the dog which always barks at night.
Correct. So look that we only have that. That, in this case, Camila, it's saying that's. Remember that that's it is the contraction of that is. But in this activity, you need to go with contraction. Okay, contraction. That's the dog. And since I'm talking about a dog that it's related to be a thing, we are going to be using which always. And notice something, we have barks, right? Barks, because the original verb is bark, but since we are referring to third person, we go with barks at night. Okay, so you will have to do the same thing with the remaining sentences. Okay, we have 9 of them. We already did the first one. Now is your task to go with the remaining ones. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes so you can check them and then we can check the answer. Okay, let's go with the answers. I'm gonna ask Alvaro Lara, can you please tell me how to properly do sentence number 2?
That's the shop where I bought my wedding dress.
Correct. That's the shop where, because I'm talking about a place, I bought my wedding dress. Thank you very much, Alvaro. Now let's go with Camila Santa Cruz, number 3, please.
That's the actor who was in Glee.
That's the actor who was in Glee. Correct. I'm talking about a person, so the correct one is who. It can also be that, right? But in this particular case, we are going to be using who. Now, Jorge Jara, can you please go with number 4?
They are the children who... No. They're the children who live next door to me.
Correct. We're talking about people, right? It doesn't matter that this is plural. It doesn't matter if it's singular or plural. We either way use who. Thank you very much, Jorge. Who live next door to me. Now, Kenia Miño, number 5, please.
This is the restaurant where they make great pizza.
Correct. This is the restaurant where they make great pizza. Thank you very much, Kenia. Now, next one, please. Byron Reyes, number 6.
The wheat who controls the air condition.
Control the air conditioning. So I'm gonna ask you, Byron, to please repeat the relative clause that goes right here, because I was not able to properly hear you. Remember that we can either use where, who, or which. So which one is it?
Who.
Who is for people. We're talking about a switch. Switch is basically the thing that you use to turn off or turn on something. So it's a thing. So who is not appropriate? Do you think it's where or which?
Where.
Where is for places, Byron. Which in this case is for things. Okay, so Byron, you are gonna do number 7 as well. So go ahead. How would you do number 7?
He's a teacher.
Okay. We have teachers, my sister. Okay, so how will you do the relative clause right here? We're talking about a person, the teacher. Either it's a man or a woman. Okay, right here we're talking about a man. So which relative clause do we use whenever we talk about people? Okay, Omar, how would you do number 7?
Okay. Number 7, he's the teacher who teaches my sister.
Correct. Listen, Byron, we use who whenever we talk about people. And just as Omar was saying, teacher is a person, right? So because of that, we use who. Thank you very much, Byron, and also Omar. Now let's go with number 8.
Teacher,
Yes.
en la parte de arriba está unido, está mal escrito algo.
Which
Más
one?
arriba.
6,
No,
5.
ya es más arriba, creo, que unió Liz con... Ahí está, number 5.
Number 5. Yes, this it's together. Correct. Thank you very much, Kevin, for the reminder. Now, number 8. Let's go with, I was about to go with, let's go with George. George Nunez, number 8, please.
Okay, that's the wrong word.
Where? What else? That's the room where? Can you continue, George? Probably he's having some issues. Okay, Elizabeth, how would you do number 8?
We had our meeting.
Meetings, correct. Meetings. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. And finally, let's go with number 9. I'm going to ask Daniela Vélez.
Yeah. This is the light which is broken.
This is the light which is broken. Correct. We're talking about light. Light is that thing that makes the room clear, right? And because it's a thing, we refer as this with the relative clause which. Amazing thing. Thank you very much.
Y una pregunta.
Yes, George.
¿Sí se me escuchó cuando dije? La 8.
No, everything only until this point. After that, you were mute. So because of that, as I asked Elizabeth Ramirez to complete the rest.
Sí, mira, lo que pasa es que se me cortó el audio porque se me dio a apagar la computadora, entonces tuve que conectar, disculpe.
Yes.
Pero, o sea, sí terminé todo, sino que...
Yes, I think that I noticed that. That's why I gave the opportunity to the next student. So do not worry. Okay, so let's continue with the next one. Okay, so in the next activity that we will have to develop, it's this one right here, okay? Complete the useful expression with these words. 3B. Okay, and right here you have these expressions. You have something, example, similar, somewhere, kind, no kin, kind it's the same as type, right? It's a similar word to say type. Any kind of animal. If you ask me to list kind of animals, I will say that they are domestic animals. They are also wild animals. So tipos, okay? Kind. Also, kind puede significar tanto tipo de algo, ¿verdad? Kind of animals, como también puede significar, obviamente, depende del contexto, similar to polite, como ser amable, okay? So, for example, depending on the context, of course, I could either say, I like to eat any kind of food. Right here, because the context is telling me this, I know that this is similar to type, right? Type of food. But I can also say, she is really kind. Okay, so in this context, I will be referring that she's polite. She's really nice. Okay, so just remember that. And the pronunciation is like kind, like this. Okay, no can. So right here you have.
Miss,
Yes.
sí, una pregunta. En el grammar, en el grammar bank 1B, donde hay que poner who, which, or where, coloqué, o sea, perdón, todas bien, solo que en las oraciones coloqué el punto. No me fijé que ya tenía punto y me le calificó como cero. ¿Será que me la puede poner para repetirla?
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, es lo que les dije, chicos, por favor,
Sí.
lo puedo hacer al final. Ahorita, por favor, tratemos de avanzar, porque justamente con esos 2 días que perdimos de clases, el tiempo lo tengo ahí. Entonces, todo eso hay que fijarse, ¿sí? Lo entiendo, a mí me ha pasado, miren también si en el caso de Kevin no me dijera que he puesto esas 2 palabras pegadas, pues obviamente no, también me hubiera registrado mal. Entonces, ahorita déjenme explicar esto y mientras ustedes lo hacen, yo voy y les doy acceso. Por favor, en el chat escríbanme, porque creo que también fue el caso de Camila, qué actividad fue para poderles ayudar, ¿ok?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have all of this expression, you have opposite, right? Opposite, it's like, you know, like if I say black, the opposite is white. If I say nice, the opposite is rude. You have somebody and you have like, okay? So all of these expressions are used to parafrasear. So right here, you will have to choose which one of these words belong to each of these sentences, okay? So let's have 2 minutes to do this. And in the meanwhile, I'm gonna go and correct the activities that your classmates are missing, okay? Okay, I think that I already fixed the activity for all of the students that requested through the chat. So once that you are done with this activity, you can check it out. Now let's go with the answers for this activity. I'm gonna go with, let me see if, okay, let's go with Nancy. Nancy, let's go with number 1, please.
Is somebody a person who works in a hospital?
Correct. Somebody. We use somebody whenever we are not saying the name of the person, but still we want to refer to that person, right? Somebody. Alguien. Okay, thank you very much, Nancy. Let's see. Cristel Diaz, number 2, please.
It's something, a thing which we use for everything nowadays.
Yes, there is a mistake right here. So it's instead of the R, it's a T. So it's everything. So it's something. Thank you very much, Cristel. So in this case, something, again, whenever we don't want to mention that thing, that animal, that we are going to use this word, algo, okay? Now, let's go with number 3. Okay, let's go with Kevin. Kevin, number 3, please.
Kevin Solis?
Yes, Kevin Solis, you have your hands raised.
Of course. Is somewhere a place where people go when they want to buy something?
Correct, somewhere. So in this case, thank you very much, Kevin. We use somewhere if we don't want to mention the place, right? But still we want to refer to that place. It's basically algún lugar, right? There is even a song that the name is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Probably you have heard about this song. It's really popular and it's like from Hawaii, or it's really tropical, okay? So somewhere. Thank you very much, Kevin. So Byron Reyes, number 4.
It's a kind of gate.
It's a kind. Remember that I explained you this, the kind thing, and I even write the pronunciation, okay? Kind. And this pronunciation right here is gadget. Okay, so can you please go again, Byron, and tell me the sentence? Read it again.
Yeah, it's a kind of gadget.
Correct. Thank you very much, Byron. Now let's continue with number 5. I'm gonna ask to Mónica Añasco. Let's go with number 5.
Okay, it's the opposite of dark.
Correct. Opposite. Opposite. Remember that I told you that the opposite is black is the opposite of white. So remember that word. Thank you, Monica. Jael, number 6.
Like. It's like light, but you use it to describe hair.
Correct. It's like light, right? It's different the pronunciation. Like, it's the things that you give in Facebook, right? Ayúdame con un like. You know, you probably have already heard that phrase. So this one is like, and this one is light. It's kind of different. It's slightly different, okay? And we have number 7. Let's go with Camila Santa Cruz.
It's similar to intelligent.
It's similar to intelligent, correct. Similar, there we go. And finally, Scarlett Takuri, number 8.
For example, do you this to the TV?
Correct, for example, okay? So please, guys, double check before you register the activity, okay? Remember that you need to write everything on lowercase. So you have somebody, something, somewhere, kind, opposite with double T, like. You also have similar and example, okay? So click into the finish button so you can register your activity. And there we go. We got all of them correct. So let's move to the next activity. The next activity is kind of curious because it's related to vocabulary, okay? So let's see. Okay, you already, okay. So it's related to this reading article right here, okay? And after that you read this, we are gonna do this activity right here. So before we go to do the activity, I'm gonna ask any volunteer if you want to read. We have 1 paragraph, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna need 6 volunteers for this reading part. Okay, right here we have the title, 900 new words in 3 months. Okay, so I do have Jael's hands, Juan, Sandra, Cristel, Camila. So you want to go with the reading, Jael?
I do, Miss.
Who said I do?
Jorge Jara.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the chance. Just give me a second, okay? Jorge, Jael. So please, you are going to read from everyone until from, okay?
Everyone knows the English language is changing. Every 3 months, the OED, Oxford English Dictionary, publish updates to its online dictionary. One recent update contained 900 new words, new expressions, or new meanings for exciting words, but where do they all come from?
Amazing pronunciation. Great job, Jael. The only remark that I will do is this one right here. Existing words, okay? Also notice that right here we have a full stop. So you have to stop, right? For existing words. But where do they all come from? Besides that, amazing job. Congratulations, Jael. And okay, now I'm gonna give the chance to Jorge. Jorge Jara, can you please go with the second paragraph?
New words are created in many different ways. We can make a new word by combining 2 words like gastropub, gastronomy plus pop, or emoticon, emotion plus icon. Sometimes we put 2 words together in a new way, for example, road rage or toy boy.
Correct. Thank you very much, Jorge. So this word right here, it's combining. Combining. When you mix, right? You add one word with another one. Combining. And this one right here, it's emoticon. Emoticon or emoticon. Okay? You know about this. Emojis. Same thing, right? So thank you very much, Jorge. Now, Juan Cedeño, let's go with the third paragraph.
We also find that nouns can change into verbs. Take the word text. Text was always a noun from about 1369, according to the OED, but it's now very common as a verb to text somebody. Other new words already exist, but with a different meaning. For example, tweet was a noise that a bird makes, but now we use it more often as a verb or a noun for a message that people put on a social networking site, Twitter.
All right, amazing job. Congratulations as well, Juan. Really good pronunciation. Let's go with Sandra. Sandra, you have the next paragraph, so go ahead.
Okay. Another way in which we wake new words is by adopting words from foreign language like birds or late, important from Italian when coffee bars became really popular in the UK in the 1890s.
No, remember that you can read these numbers 2 by 2. So you can go 90s, okay?
Yeah, okay, 1990s.
Correct, because if you read the whole number, it's gonna be kind of difficult, okay? Thank you very much, Sandra, great job.
Thank you,
So,
teacher.
foreign, remember that foreign, it's for outside your country, okay? Foreign, and right here, since we have ES, it's plural. Languages, language, singular. Languages, 2 languages or more than 1, it's gonna be languages. Now, these terms right here are not from English like speakings, right? This is actually from Italian. So the names of the proper pronunciation of this is just as you can see it right there. Barista. That is the right pronunciation. And this one is latte, just as the coffee that you get in Sweden Coffee, right? So let's continue with Cristel Diaz. Next one, please.
Dice, a lot of new words come from the names of brands or companies. For example, we play music on an iPod and we Google information. We also knew more general words to describe new technology or new gadgets. Wi-Fi, Raytheon, and smartphone are some recent examples.
Correct. Great pronunciation, Cristel. I don't have any remark about this. So let's continue with the next one. I'm gonna go with Camila Santa Cruz. The last one, please.
The invention of new words is not a new phenomenon. The word brunch, breakfast plus lunch, first appeared in 1896, newspaper, news plus paper in 60 and 67, and English speakers started to use the word café from French in the late 19th century. The difference now is how quickly new words and expressions enter the language and how quickly we start to use and understand them.
Okay, amazing job, Camila. Great pronunciation. Congrats as well. So now that we read this, we're gonna do the next activity, okay? Probably feel free to Google because right here you're gonna find some terms that probably are new to you, okay? For example, you have the term toy boy. Probably you can know the kind of the meaning if you go through these definitions right here, okay? You also have to text, you have road rage, that is me, one like 24/7 in Guayaquil. You're gonna notice why I'm telling you this. Gastropub, barista, and latte. Okay, so your job right now, and I'm gonna give you only 2 minutes for this, is to match these new words to definitions, to the definitions right here, okay? So I have Nancy. Nancy, you wanna go with the first one?
Yes.
Okay, so can you please read the term, the word, and then the definition?
Toy boy, a young man who is going out with a much older woman.
Correct. So toy boy, it's similar, like those terms that right now we have like sugar daddy, right? That is also a new term. So toy boy, it's something similar, but you know, in a different context, because right here we have a young man with a much older woman. So it's the other way around, okay? So great job, Nancy, you got it correct. Then we have Camila Santa Cruz. What about number 2?
To text, to send a message using a mobile phone.
Correct. This is something that I told you before, right? Before, text, it was only like some written things, right? But now you can even use it as a verb. You can say, yes, I'm texting you right now. Please check your cell phone, Okay, great job, Camila. Gianna, number 3, please.
Barista. Person who works in a coffee bar.
Correct, barista. This term became popular because of a Starbucks, right? Because that in a Starbucks, people don't call those employees, they call them baristas. So it makes it feels like it is a bigger job, right? So that is correct. Thank you very much, Jana. Let's continue with number 4, Juan.
Road rage. Feeling angry because of the traffic or another person's driving.
Correct. That's why I was telling you that this is me 24/7 in Guayaquil. Okay, road rage. Thank you very much, Juan. George Nunez, number 5, please.
Late coffee with hot milk.
Okay, remember, George, this is an Italian word, so it's Latin, just as you see it. Yes, because late, it's like, yes, I'm coming late to your class, okay? This is Latin, just as this one right here, barista. We don't have any accent or any different pronunciation. Okay, thank you very much, George. And finally, Aldair Zambrano, number 6.
Gastropub. A pub where you can also have very good food.
Correct, gastropub. So right now we have gastropubs right here in Guayaquil, places as Bento, Sociedad Anónima, what's the name of that place that is below? Morrison. All of those are gastropubs because basically those are clubs, but you can also have some food on it, okay? So please check your answers before you click into register your activity. And the last activity that we will do is the last one before we go to a tiny break, okay? So this is the activity that we are going to do right now. So let's see. Analia Aviles, can you please read the instruction for this activity?
Look at the 2 dictionary extracts. What do the abbreviations mean?
Correct. Thank you very much, Analia. So right here, you have, right, a search. And right here you have, this is basically the pronunciation. Look carefully because you're trying to find SB. Do you know what's the meaning of SB? Right here you have it. And STH. Do you know what the meaning of this abbreviation is? This is something that usually people tends to apply whenever you use. Okay, let's go with the first one. This is like the most, I will say the easier one. So we have B right here, right? This is the B that we are referring, search. So what do you think B stands for? We have search, play, you also have cook. What are all of those words? George Nunez, you have your hand raised. Do you know the answer? No? Juan?
Verb.
Verb, correct. Verb. Now, there is something wrong with the Moodle. Hay algo mal con el Moodle, ¿verdad? Entonces, es verb, pero el Moodle lo tiene así. Entonces, ya ahorita, si me pongo a corregirlo, no voy a poder. Así que pónganle tal cual lo estoy poniendo aquí, ¿ok? La palabra y la respuesta correcta es verb, but the Moodle somehow has it like this, ¿ok? Now, Monica, do you know the meaning for this? We have busy, A-D-J.
Adjective.
Correct. In this case, we have it correct, adjective, okay? Because busy is an adjective, it's a feature, it's a characteristic, right? I'm busy right now, please, don't talk to me. Thank you, Monica. I have Diana. What about SV?
Subject.
No, it's not subject, even though it makes sense, right? But take a look. We have loot search, right? Search is like this. Whenever you search in internet, look carefully because you're trying to find, or you have this, okay? Cristel, do you know what's the meaning of SV?
Somebody.
Correct, somebody. That is the meaning of SV. And do you know the meaning of STH, Nancy?
Sometime.
No, sometimes, similar to sometime. Remember that if you are searching for somebody or something, correct, something. So whenever you see SV, it's somebody. And whenever you see STH, it's some. Those are abbreviations, really common use, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. So right now we will have a tiny break so we can have some energy to conclude the next unit, okay? So we are gonna have a break until 11. Let's have it until 11:25, okay? 11:25, I'm gonna pass the attendance once again, and then we will continue with the next unit, okay? So I see you in a bit. guys. So let's restart our class. And as I mentioned before, I'm gonna check that you guys are right here in a really quick way so we can move forward, okay? So in order to do this, I will need that you guys turn on your camera. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to pass the attendance, okay? So please, I ask you in the most kind way to turn on your camera. Okay, I'm waiting for you guys. Please turn on your camera so I can start with the class. Okay, so please, George, Sandra, Kevin, Paulette, Álvaro, Isabel, I need that your cameras be on so I can proceed to pass the test. I'm gonna share my screen right now. Okay, so let's try to be really fast with this. Yanela Acosta.
Here.
Thank you, Yanela. Franz Almache. Isabel Almeida.
Here.
Thank you, Isabel. Mónica Añasco.
Here.
Thank you. Judith Avilés.
Here.
Thank you. Diana Cañizares.
Here.
Thank you, Diana. Elías Castillo. Elías Castillo. Paulette Castillo.
Here, miss.
Thank you, Paulette. Juan Cedeño.
Here.
Thank you, Juan. Kevin Cruz. Kevin Cruz. Nancy Cruz.
Here, teacher.
Thank you, Nancy. Cristel Díaz.
Here.
Thank you, Cristel. Melanie Huarco.
Here.
Thank you, Melanie. Jorge Jara. Jorge.
Here.
Thank you, Jorge. Álvaro Lara.
Here, miss.
Thank you, Álvaro. Jessica Lima.
Here, miss.
Thank you, Jessica. Kenia Niño.
Here, miss.
Thank you, Kenia. Andrea Molina. Dayana Moreno.
Here.
Thank you, Dayana. George Núñez.
Here.
Thank you, George. María de Los Ángeles Parra.
Here, miss.
Thank you, María de Los Ángeles. Elizabeth Ramírez. Elizabeth Ramírez. Byron Reyes. Byron Reyes. Cristel Saldarriaga.
Okay.
Thank you, Cristel. Helen Romo.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Helen. Thank you. Sebastián Rodríguez. Sebastián Rodríguez. Yana Sánchez.
Here.
Thank you, Yana. Kevin Sánchez.
Here.
Thank you, Kevin. Camila Santa Cruz.
Hi.
Hi, Camila. Sandra Santín.
Here, teacher.
Thank you, Sandra. Ricardo Sobrevilla. Kevin Solís. Kevin Solís. Scarlett Takuri.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Scarlett. Omar Tomalá.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Omar. Daniela Vélez. Thank you, Daniela. Yael Vera.
Here, Miss.
Thank you, Yael. Marcela Villegas.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Marcela. María Llagos.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, María. Aldair Zambrano.
Here, Miss.
Thank you, Aldair. And Justin Zamora.
Present, Miss. Yo sé que se me fue la luz
¿En qué
y no estuve en la falta que tengo ahorita y yo sí he estado en todo.
A ver, es lo que te explicaba, Justin. Yo pasé la primera hora.
Sí,
Y pasé
sí.
no una ni dos veces.
Sí lo escuché.
Sí, entonces
Ujú.
por eso es que
Teacher,
tienes.
no se me
Sí,
escucha.
Ramírez presente.
Kevin Solís.
Y ahí va a pasar nuevamente. Franks, Elías Castillo, Kevin Cruz, Andrea Molina, Elizabeth Ramírez.
Presente, Elisa.
Thank you. Byron Reyes, Sebastián Rodríguez, Ricardo Sobrevilla, Kevin Solís.
Kevin Solís, hi, Miss.
Kevin. Okay, there we go. So let's continue with our class, guys. And in order to do that, we are already done with unit 3C. We will continue with unit 4A, okay? Please, right here, you are seeing that this is available as well, but please don't move into this unit yet because we will check on this unit tomorrow. This one and this one we will check tomorrow. So right now, let's focus on this. Okay, I'm gonna ask Kevin Solis, can you please read the name of this unit right here?
Perdón, no se me escucha. Parents and teenagers.
Teenagers, correct. Parents and teenagers. Remember teenagers, I'm gonna tell you something about this. We have the numbers, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, right? When we have 12, then we have 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 18, 19, okay? All of those ages belong to teenagers, okay? That is a teenager. Whenever they have that teen, basically on the age, okay? So we will say that a teenager, it's any person from 13 until 19 years old. So that is the main topic of this current unit. And right here in the grammar section, we will check this tense, present perfect. This is a bit, I want to say, more complex tense, but we're gonna try, we're gonna practice, and we're gonna try to take this slow so you can have a good understanding of this upcoming tense. And also we are gonna check the use of present perfect plus yet, just, and the expression already. Into the vocabulary section, we will check vocabulary related to housework and in which situations do we use make and in which situations do we use do, okay? We also gonna check some pronunciation related to J, okay, to that sound. So let's go to the first activity related to this unit. It's a reading activity. And right now, let me tell you something before we start with this activity, okay? So as I was telling you, right, we have classes on Sundays and on Saturdays, right? But that is not enough. Right here, I'm giving you a structure, I'm giving you some rules, I'm giving you some concepts, right? But let's be honest. If you want to improve your speaking skills, you need to practice. Not only know what's the structure or how do you form the past simple. Yeah, that is important, but that is only the surface. That is only a tiny part, okay? So Justin, are you there? Because I don't see your camera. It's pointing to nowhere. Justin Zamora. Elizabeth Rodriguez. Paulette Castillo. I don't see your cameras, guys. Please, you need to help me with this. Otherwise, I mean, I don't want to, but I will have to remove you from the session, okay? That is a strike number 1. I'm gonna call your name in a while, and if you don't reply, unfortunately, I will have to remove you from the session. Let me, okay, there we go. Okay, so I was telling you, right, that these things that you are doing when you are raising your hand to read those paragraphs, that is you trying to get better, right? You are getting better because you are getting out of your comfort zone and you are reading. That is one way to improve your speaking skills. So whenever you have the chance, guys, not only right here, try to read, try to listen, not only to songs, not only to, you can also go with movies, right? But those are skills that you can work on it so you can be better at your speaking skills. Another way to do it, it's whenever we practice pronunciation, or if you see that I'm talking, right? You can imitate, you can repeat the words I'm saying. When I'm telling you, hey, this is not the way that you pronounce this word, it's teenager. You have your microphone off, right? So you can just say teenager out loud as well, so you can know how to properly say this word, okay? That is only a suggestion. So right here, I'm gonna ask Justin Zamora. Justin, can you please read this question right here, this instruction right here? Justin at 1. Justin at 2. Okay, Justin, can you please read this instruction right here?
Look at the definition of teenager. How do you pronounce it?
Pronounce
Do you
it.
have
pronounce it. Do you have a similar word in your language to describe a person of that again?
Age, to describe a person
Age.
of that age. Correct. Thank you very much, Justin.
Sorry.
So no, that's okay. I'm here to correct you, and you don't have to say this as you are doing wrong. I mean, you are learning the language. So if you make a mistake, that is correct, okay? Now, Elizabeth, can you please read the definition of teenager?
Solo es que no presionaba el botón para poder hablar, por eso
Okay.
no respondía rápido.
Okay.
Lea, dijo que lea. Say
this.
Teenager, a person who is within between 13 and 19 years old.
Correct. So it's the thing that I was mentioning before, right? Since these numbers have the teen at the very end, that is a very good way to remember what's the range between like when you are a teenager and when you are not. So basically when you are 20 years old, you are already a grown up. You are an adult, right? You are not a teenager anymore, okay? So right here, raise your hand if you are still a teenager. Anyone that has 19 years old right here in this session, raise your hand if you have 19. Okay, Analia, she's a teenager yet. Who else? Do I have any other teenager right here in my classroom? Cristel, okay, Cristel is also a teenager. Okay, anybody else? Oh, that's it. Okay, so the rest of us, like sadly, all of us are grown-ups already. We are adults. We only have, I think it was, I forgot, I think Analia and also Cristel, I think. I forgot. Okay, so let's do the next activity, okay? This is also an article. And we are, of course, gonna read this so we can understand the instructions and the thing that we have to do. So Aldair Zambrano, can you please read the instruction of this activity?
Yeah, read the article about some annoying habits. Write if you think the sentence is parent talking about teenagers. Or T, if you think it's the teenagers talking about his or her parents.
Correct. Thank you very much, Aldair. So right here you have an article, right? And basically, you will need to identify, according to you, if these phrases, it's a parent talking or it's a teenager talking. For example, I'm going to give you an example in another context. Let's say that you have to identify if there is a teacher talking or a student talking. If you have the phrase, I can stand to that person. It's the classroom. I mean, I don't understand any part of the class. I don't understand any part of the class. So if you have two options, that will be saying for a student or for a teacher. Which one do you think will be the more convenient?
Student.
A student, right? A student will be saying, I don't understand any part of that class, right? So if I will be saying, nobody is listening, I keep repeating the explanation of this topic and they are not understanding me. So that will be a teacher talking or a student talking.
Teacher.
A teacher, right? It's like, no, I mean, I keep telling this, I keep teaching this topic and they are not getting, okay? So similar thing right here. you have some phrases. You need to decide if this phrase it's been told by a parent, like a father, a mother, or a teenager. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2 minutes so you can read this. And remember, T stands for teenager and P stands for parent. Okay, so let's read it. And after that, I'm gonna check your answers. Okay, guys. So Okay, I'm gonna ask Diana Cañizares. Diana, can you please read the first phrase and can you please tell us if you think this is something a teenager will say or this is something a parent will say? Okay, go ahead, Diana.
They come in. They come into my room, white snooking, and then
Without knocking. Without knocking.
knocking.
Can you please repeat without
Knocking.
Correct. Continue.
And they are surprised to see things they don't really want to know about.
To know about.
To know about.
Okay, so according to you, Diana, this is teenager talking or parent talking?
Teenagers.
Yes, this is something that a teenager will say. Correct. Thank you very much, Diana. So let me try to, you have to drag the letter into the space. So we have, they come into my room, and notice that this expression it's highlighted, okay, without knocking, and then are surprised to see things they don't really want to know about, okay. Now let's continue with the next one. Melanie Huarco, number 2.
They carry on texting when I'm telling them something really important and they say, yeah, I hear you. Of course they didn't. I say parents say
Yes.
this.
Yeah, for me, that's parent as well, right? Because let's be honest, sometimes whenever we are teenagers, we are really rude and stubborn with our parents, okay? So yes, this is something that a parent will say. Thank you very much, Melanie. Now, let's go with number 3. I'm gonna ask, please, Jessica Lima, can you please read number 3 and tell us if that is teenager speaking or a parent speaking? Jessica Lima, can you please go with number 3? Okay, can you please read the text, what Anthony Smith is saying?
I was fit with the remote and the sun, the Chanel, when I'm watching some rides in Chelsea. No se escucha muy bien.
Jessica, so right here, change the channel. Can you please repeat the expression? Change the channel.
The channel. Change the channel.
Correct. Change the channel. So, Jessica, this is teenager or parent?
No logro escuchar, que tengo ruido aquí en mi casa.
Ok, so mi sugerencia, por favor, es de que busques algún lugar en donde no haya tanto ruido, por favor, o cambies de dispositivo para poder interactuar. Sí, justamente mencioné tu nombre porque no he tenido interacción de tu parte, entonces por eso llamaba a tu nombre. Ok, so I'm gonna go with the next student then. Diana, so can you please read the phrase and tell us if that is a teenager or a parent talking?
It's a parent talking.
It's parent talking? You think that it's a parent? Okay, so let's see. Anybody else think that this is parent or teenager? Teenager.
I think it's parents.
Okay, it's kind of it's debatable, right? I mean, it's not clear because they always pick up the remote and change the channel when I'm watching something really interesting. So it's kind of tricky. I mean, I got that it can be a parent talking or a teenager talking, but in this situation, we will go with teenager, okay? Go with teenager, even though it will make sense also that this could be saying for a parent, okay? Now, let's go with number 4, George Nunez.
Yeah, okay, miss. They leave their room in a terrible mess and then roll the race when I ask them to tidy it.
Correct. So teenager or
P.
P, right? Yes. That is also for me. For me, it's also parent because tidy up means whenever you do like the things, I mean, your room, it will be in a good shape, right? There's not gonna be towels on the floor and you probably don't have any plates or glasses in the table. So that is tidy up, tenerlo arreglado, okay? So they leave their room in a terrible mess. Mess, it's the opposite of tidy, okay? Mess is when you have towels on the floor, your bed is not tidy, you have glasses, tables, glasses and plates on the table, okay? Mess, opposite of tidy. Now, let's go with number 5. Mónica Añasco, can you please read it?
It states, they never pick out dirty clothes or with towel from the floor. They think some elves came later and pick them out.
Parent?
Parent.
Okay, correct. I mean, this is basically related with this one right here, right? They never pick up dirty clothes or wet towels, right? Towels on the floor and it's a mess, a complete mess, right? And they think so. Do you know what's the meaning of this? Some elves come later to pick, come later and pick them up. Elves, it's like, let me show you with a picture. This is an elf, right? So elf, it's singular and elves are plural. So basically this person right here, it's been sarcastic, right? They think some elves come later and pick them up, okay? So yes, this is totally something that a parent will say. Now let's continue with number 6. Nancy, please go ahead.
They say no before Afi even finishes explaining what I want to do. The teenagers.
Yes, that is something that sounds as a parent will do, right? They are not, you are not gonna go to the party, no, it's too late. And you know, the teenager, it's gonna be, but mom, let me explain you. Everybody's going to go to that party. I need to go. No, I don't wanna hear it, okay? So yes, this is something that a teenager will say. Thank you very much, Nancy. So it's, they say no before I've even finished explaining what I want to do. This expression right here, it's related to the tense that we are about to watch, present perfect, okay? So probably this is kind of confusing right now, but we are going to cover this in a bit. Let's go with number 7, Cristel Diaz.
They tell me do the washing up and then complain that I put things in the wrong place in the dishwasher. T for teenager.
Yes, that is correct. I also think that that is T for teenager. They tell me to do the washing up and they complain that I put things in the wrong place in the dishwasher. That is my mom, basically. I'm not a teenager anymore, but that is my mom. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make my mom happy because I'm gonna wash some clothes. And when my mom arrived, she's like, who is using the washing machine? You know, she gets mad because I'm doing something. So yes, this is something that totally a teenager will say. Now, we have the last one. I'm gonna ask Yael Vera, can you please read the last one and tell me if that is T for teenager or P for parent?
We never I need to call them. Their mobile is either switch off or the battery is dead. P.
P?
Parents.
Yes. I mean, this is kind of confusing. This is P actually, but as you can see right here, we have hashtag, right? Hashtag, it really annoys me. So it's not common that a parent will use a hashtag, right? But anyway, that is the correct answer. You know, hashtag is this. Probably you know this because you are into social media. But this is a hashtag, right? Hashtag. Or what's the, yes, that is how we say it in English or in Spanish. It's numeral, but we say hashtag. I love English classes. I know that that is not the truth, but anyway, you know, you use hashtag for saying any kind of expression, right? But that is not something that usually parents use, but anyway, the correct answer right here, it's P, okay? So take a look on the correct answers before you finish with the attempt so you can have the activity correct. Okay. I'm gonna register the activity and we will move on into the next activity. So as you probably check, we were covering some content related to teenagers and parents, right? That is the main topic on the reading. Now, as you probably, I told you, right? There are some highlighted verbs and phrases. Let me just show you once again. You have the expressions without knocking, without knocking. So knocking is this. If somebody else, is somebody there? This is knocking, right? And without is that you are not knocking, okay? You just go ahead. You are not knocking and you just go into the room. Carry on texting. Carry on texting. Texting, as probably you may recall, it's when you are on your cell phone on WhatsApp, right? And carry on is that you continue texting, that you keep texting and you are not listening to somebody else, right? It's like you continue texting even though somebody is talking to you. Change the channel. Change the channel. So let's say that you are watching Ecuavisa, you're watching El Noticiero, and you change the channel to Teleamazonas to watch a soccer match, right? So that is changing the channels. To tidy up. To tidy up, it's when your bed is a mess, you go and you fix your bed, right? You make it seems nice. You are like mopping the floor. You are like, your whole room looks nice. So you tidy up your room. So remember, tidy up is the opposite of mess. Pick up dirty clothes. So whenever we talk about clothes, It's this, right? What you are wearing. Dirty or dirty, whenever like dirty, it's in American English. Dirty, it's British English. It's when you have already used your clothes. So probably it's a stinky or probably it's with some stink, right? So that is dirty clothes. So pick up, it's when the dirty clothes is on the floor and you pick it up and you put it in the right place, okay? Pick up dirty clothes. Then you have do the washing up. Do the washing up. So washing up is when you have a plate or a glass because you are done eating, right? For example, this mug. So this is dirty. So I'm gonna do the washing up, right? I'm gonna put some water, some soap. I'm doing the washing up, okay? Complain. Complain. This is when, for example, you are not comfortable with some action. So, for example, let's say that you are in comisariato, right? And you go to the manager and you complain because the chicken that you just bought is not good. Look, this smells bad. Probably this already expired. Okay, so I'm complaining. Okay, so those are the highlighted verbs. Let's see the next activity. That it's this one right here, 2A. It's vocabulary related to housework. Okay, I already told you each of the possible meanings for each expression, right? So right now, you need to understand, and I'm gonna ask first of all to somebody to read this for me. Okay, so let's see. Marcela Villegas. Marcela, can you please read the instruction of this activity?
Yeah, miss. Which there are connected with housework.
Okay, thank you very much. So which three, so the activity is already telling us that there's only 3 of these activities that is connect with housework. So basically we have right here a complex word, work and house. So any kind of activity that you do in the house, right? So we have, listen, without knocking, do the washing up, carry on texting, change the channel, to tidy it, complain, and pick up dirty clothes. So if you ask me, how would you do the check and how would you do the cross? I will do it like this. Just copy it and do it like this. And if you think that it's not connect to housework, just go copy it and paste it right here, okay? I'm gonna give you 2 minutes so you can decide which one of these terms right here are connect with housework. Okay, so let's see, I do have some volunteers. Let me just check right here. Okay. So Nancy, you are gonna read the term, right? And you are gonna tell me if that is related or not related, or connect or not connect with housework. Okay, go ahead, Nancy.
Without knocking, not connect with housework.
Correct. It's not connect. So great job, Nancy, and great pronunciation as well. Thank you very much. Let's continue with Helen Romo. The next one, please.
Do the washing up connect?
Yes, it is connect. Thank you very much, Helen. Scarlett Takuri, the third one, please.
Sorry on this texting, not connected.
Not connect, correct. Thank you very much, Scarlett. Then we have the next one, Jael Vera.
Connected.
Okay, can you please read the expression and then tell me if it's connect and not connect?
Change the channel, connected.
Okay, whenever we talk about housework, Jael, it's an activity that basically benefit to the house being clean. Okay, entonces cuando hablamos de housework, hablamos de una actividad que básicamente beneficia que la casa esté limpia, por así decirlo. Okay, so changing the channel is not any activity that can be beneficial for the house. Okay, so in this case, change the channel is not a housework. Okay, for example, housework will be trapear el piso, mopping the floor, right? That will be connect with housework. Barrer también la casa sería housework. Okay, todo eso está conectado con el beneficio de que mi casa esté limpia. Let's continue with Mónica Añasco. Please, the next one.
To tidy it, connected.
It is connect, right? Because you are gonna be like making the house clean. You are gonna be tidying the house. Thank you very much, Mónica. Isabel Almeida, the next one.
Not connected. Sorry. Complain, not connected.
Correct. It's not complain. Even though we complain inside the house, it's not an activity that is related with the benefits of the house clean. Okay. And we have the last one, Cristel Saldarriaga.
Okay. Take on the hearing pros is connect.
It is connect, correct. In this case, it is beneficial for the house. So please, guys, double check before you register the activity. Only do the washing up to tidy it, and pick up dirty clothes are connect. The rest of them, no. So click into the finish button so you can register your activity. And there we go. We have all of them correct. Now, we will check another activity related to vocabulary. Okay. So right here, it's this one right here. Vocabulary Bank 1A. Let's see it. Okay, so right here you have 12 activities, and of course you have the pictures of each activity. So your task right now is to match these verb phrases with the pictures. I'm gonna pronounce the verb phrases so you can have the good pronunciation for each of them. So the first one is clean the floor. Clean the floor. Do the ironing. Like Iron Man, right? Same thing, iron, but right here we have ing. Do the ironing. Do the shopping. Do the shopping. Do the washing. Do the washing. Do the washing up. Do the washing up. Lay the table. Lay the table. Make lunch. Make lunch. Make the beds. Make the beds. Pick up dirty clothes. Pick up dirty clothes. Put away your clothes. Put away your clothes. Take out the rubbish. Take out the rubbish. Tidy your room. Tidy your room. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, even though I already have some volunteers, so you can decide what's the correct picture for each phrase. Okay, so let's start, and I'm gonna ask about this first picture. So Jorge Jara, Jorge, what about the first picture? Which one do you think is the correct verb phrase that match this picture?
What picture?
This one right here. Number 1, what's the correct verb phrase?
Lay the table.
Lay the table, correct. So this one right here, it's lay the table, number 1, okay? So let's see. Elizabeth Ramirez, what about number 2? What's the correct verb phrase?
Do the washing.
Do the washing, correct. Do the washing up. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Daniela Vélez, number 3, please.
Number 3 is do the shopping.
Do the shopping, correct. Do the shopping. Byron Reyes, number 4, please. It's Byron around here. Check. Okay, no Byron. So I'm gonna Give me a second because I need to register this. So it's back. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the next one. Maria Llagos. Let's go with number 3. Number 4, please, Maria.
Do the washing.
This, look, we're talking about this. We already have do the washing up. We're talking about this. Take a look. Right here you have, I don't know if that is a man or there is a woman, and you have a bat, right? So what do you think is the correct answer?
Make the beds.
Correct. Make the beds. That is the correct answer. Number 4. Thank you, Maria. So,
Miss.
yes.
Miss.
Yes.
La imagen 2.
Ajá.
No es donde washing up, es do the washing.
Yes.
Washing up es lavar los platos.
Yes, correct. Thank you very much for letting me notice this. So this is do the washing, correct. Number 2, it's whenever we talk about do the washing, just do the washing, we refer to wash clothes, sheet, towels, you know, panties, any kind of clothes, okay, just as the picture is. Thank you very much for that catch, Elizabeth. Now we have already number 4, and right now let's move on to number 5. Justin Zamora, what about number 5?
Did you wrong?
Number 5? No, that is no number 5.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, Justin. So what about number 5? Is no tidy your room.
Tidy your room. Eso dije.
That is not.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna move on with Kenya Miño. Kenya, number 5, according to you, which one is it?
Put away your clothes.
Correct. Put away your clothes. Basically, this means guardar la ropa, right? Whenever you already iron the clothes and it's everything ready, you put away your clothes right here, okay? So let's continue with number 6. Let's see, is Scarlett Takuri.
Do the ironing.
Do the ironing. Remember, it's similar to Iron Man, right? Ironing, okay? So that is correct. Number 6, do the ironing. So let's see. Omar Tomala, can you please go with number 7?
Clean the floor.
Correct. Clean the floor. Thank you very much, Omar. Now let's see the next one. We will go with Gianna Sanchez, number 8.
Pick up dirty clothes.
Number 8.
No, sorry. Is do the washing up.
Correct. This is do the washing up. So take a look on the difference between do the washing and do the washing up. So whenever we said by itself washing, do the washing, as I was telling you, this refers to clothes, right? Wash clothes, sheets, towels, panty, pants, shirts. But whenever we talk about do the washing up, refers to plates, to mugs, to cups, to pans, or anything that has been used for cooking and eating a meal. Okay, remember that. Monica Añasco, number 9, please.
Tidy the room.
Correct. Tidy your room. Correct. I mean, it's kind of difficult seeing the picture right here, but basically he's taking something and putting in this thing. So it's kind of tricky, but anyway, it is correct, right? Tidy your room. Arreglar tu cuarto. Cristel Diaz, let's go with number 10, please.
Pick up dirty clothes.
Correct. Pick up dirty clothes. Thank you very much, Cristel. I'm gonna.
Te estaba arreglando un cuarto en la 5.
I'm sorry.
No, se me activó. Es que yo pensé que la 5 era arreglar el cuarto, pero no, era guardar la ropa.
Yes, correct. So, Justin, what about number 11?
Take out the rubbish.
Take out the rubbish. Correct. Once again, I'm sorry, 11. So once again, this is a British expression. Take out the rubbish. In American English, we don't say rubbish. We say garbage. Okay. Take out the garbage. Okay. So remember that. And let's go with the final one. George Nunez, number 12.
Make lunch.
Make lunch, correct. Thank you very much, guys. So please take a look on the answers so you can have the correct answers and you can have all of the possible points. Okay. So right now, since we have only 30 minutes, and we are not going to cover the next activity, I'm going to skip that activity and we will cover that activity tomorrow, okay? Please skip this activity. We will do this tomorrow on Sunday's class, okay? Right now, I want to tell you about the use of present perfect, okay? So right here, I'm gonna play an audio so you can get familiar with the use of present perfect. But before, let's read the instruction. So let's see. Melanie Huarco, can you please read the instruction on this activity?
Look at the pictures. What do you think the people are arguing about? Listen and check.
Correct. This is arguing. Arguing, it's like basically they are fighting, right? They are having an argument. They are debating. That it's arguing about, okay? So let's listen. This is just a listening activity.
2.15. 1. Have you seen my yellow jumper? I can't find it.
No, I haven't. Have you looked in your wardrobe?
Of course I have. What's that under your bed?
Oh, yes. I remember now. I borrowed it.
2.
Why aren't you doing your homework?
I've already done it.
Really? When?
I did it on the bus this evening.
3.
Have you finished yet?
Nearly.
I need the bathroom now.
But I haven't dried my hair yet.
Well, hurry up then.
Okay.
4.
Oh, there.
Can you get a plate for that salad?
Okay, we don't have the picture of 4, so I'm just gonna skip it right there. And I don't know if you have heard, they are talking, what have you done? Have you done your homework? Are you already finished, right? So this is people using basically the tense that we are about to cover. Okay, this is something that we will cover tomorrow. And this is something that I want that you guys please pay attention and focus, because this is a new tense, okay? We have the tense present perfect. We have checked simple present. We have checked past simple. We have checked future. Right now, we're going to go into a bit more complex topic. So it's present perfect. And right here, you're going to see two situations in which we can use the present perfect. Use number one, we use it for finished past actions. Okay, so until this point, probably you're saying, okay, but that sounds as past simple. Yes, but let's see the additional condition. It doesn't show when it takes place. Take a look. I have been to Australia. I'm not telling you when exactly, but I'm telling you that I have been in Australia before, in the past. Probably I have been in Australia 2 years ago, or I was in Australia yesterday, right? I'm not specifying in which moment this takes place, okay? I have been to Australia. Yo he estado en Australia. No les estoy diciendo si fue ayer, si fue hace 2 años, si fue hace 10 años. Simplemente he estado ahí. No especifico en qué momento. Use number 2. I can use this for a continuing action. Means an action that happened in the past and still happens right now in the present. Take a look. I have lived in Toronto for 2 years. I'm still living right here, but I'm telling you that 2 years ago, I moved to Toronto. Yo he vivido en Toronto por los últimos 2 años. Okay, so that is another of the situations that I can use present perfect. So right here, there is the catch. This is the structure of present perfect. We are going to have subject, I, you, Martín, Marina, Rafaela, Sofia, plus this is going to be an auxiliary we have to use. We can either use have only for I, you, they, and we will use has for third person with he, she, it, with Zoila, Daniel, Eloy, Eduardo. And after that, the verb, it's going to be in the past participle form. Miss, what are you talking about? What is the past participle form? Okay, let me tell you something about this. I don't know if you guys recall. Let's see. Irregular. Before, I have shared with you this list of irregular verbs, right? So let's just once again double check this. I think that this is going to be downloaded. Yes. Now let me go with. Okay, let me just open this one right here. Let me check this one. Okay, so I have shared with you this irregular verb list. Remember that I told you that we have 3 types or 3 forms of verbs. You can either say B1, B2, and B3, or you can also say that B1 is the base form, also known as the infinitive way. This is B2 or the past simple form, the one that we have been using for past tense. And finally, we have B3. This is the form of past participle. this is the one that we will use right now, okay? So that is what I'm referring when I say past participle. So right now, I know that you can access to this through internet, by any way I'm gonna send this. So if you want to have this list, you can have, okay? So let me tell you something. You are not going to learn these verbs for tomorrow. Now, this takes hours and hours of practice, okay? So this is not something that 2 days from now, you're gonna be like ace in this, you're gonna be an expert about the past participle form of the verb. No, that's why I'm sharing with you this list, okay? So of course that, remember, we have verbs, regulars and irregulars. Whenever we talk about regular verbs, just like the verb graduated, that is a regular verb. So in this case, we are only gonna add ed. Recuerden que tenemos verbos regulares e irregulares. Con los verbos regulares son con los que no hay problema, porque tanto en pasado como en pasado participio, esos verbos se les agrega la D o la ED. Entonces, por ejemplo, si yo tengo el verbo play, como es un verbo regular, aquí yo solamente le voy a agregar ed. Pero si ya me voy a un verbo que tenga una forma irregular, ahí sí tendré que recurrir a mi lista. Okay? So, let's see. This is the form of, or the structure. We have, I have graduated. Yo me he graduado. You have graduated. He has, notice that this changed. No have, but has. Graduated. She has graduated. Ella se ha graduado. We have graduated. They have graduated. The student has graduated. I'm referring to probably a he or a she. That's why I choose to write has. The students, this is similar to say they. This is the equivalent of say they. So because of that, we use have graduated. So right here, as I was telling you, we use the past participle form of the verb. In the regular verbs, we only gonna add the ed or in some cases the d. So walk, it's gonna be walked. Look, it's gonna be looked. And watch, it's gonna be watched. In the case of the regular, they are gonna change a lot. For example, in the case of eat, the past form or the V2, it's ate. And in the case of past participle or V3, it's going to be eaten. See, saw, seen, drink, drank, drunk. So let's see more about the structures. So probably at this point, you are feeling really stressed because it's a whole new tense. But believe me, this is something that as long as you practice this, you are going to eventually get better. So right now, just relax and just try to pay attention. We are going to practice this on today's class and of course in tomorrow's class as well. So this is the structure I was telling you about. We have the subject. We always will use the auxiliary, either have or has, depending on the situation. The verb in the past participle form or in the V3 form, and of course, the complement. Let's see the examples. I have been in London. Yo no estoy diciendo en qué momento yo estaba en Londres. Simplemente, I have been in London. Yo he estado en Londres. You have lived in Guatemala. She has seen the doctor. Ken has taken French classes. Okay, so for example, this is an irregular verb. This is a regular verb. That's why we only add the ed. This is a irregular verb, right? The original verb form is see, so, seen. This is an irregular verb. We have take, took, and taken, okay? Now, let's see the negative way. So in that case, we are gonna be using the auxiliary in negative. The contraction, you can also go with the full form. Have not or has not, right? Either way, it's correct. But remember that we always have to try to use the contraction. So I haven't been in London. Yo no he estado en Londres. You haven't lived in Guatemala. She hasn't seen the doctor. Ken hasn't taken French classes. Now, there is a similar situation with the questions. So we have, if we will have a question word such as why, like how, like when, like where, the question word will be first. But since according to these same examples, we don't have a question word, we will start with the auxiliary. Have I been in London? Have you lived in Guatemala? Has she seen the doctor? Has Ken been taken, I'm sorry, has Ken taken French classes? Has you been, I could say there. Has you been there? ¿Has estado ahí? Have you been there? Okay. So let's see. We could also have an example with where. We could say, where have you been? Where have you been? There is a song of Rihanna that the name is Where Have You Been, right? She said, where have you been all my life, right? So that is a really good song. So where have you been? ¿Dónde has estado? Okay, so right now we are gonna stop right here. I'm gonna ask you if you have any questions related to this. Of course, that again, I understand that this is a new topic and probably you are gonna be kind of stressed, but don't. I'm gonna explain you more about this and we're gonna practice this tomorrow. Okay, do you have any questions? If you do, please shoot. Because right now we are gonna be done with the class, but before I'm gonna assign you an activity, okay? An activity that it's basically going to be related with this. So you can go and practice. It won't take you more than 30 to 40 minutes to do this. And you will have to upload it on your Moodle platform. Just let me, I'm looking for the activity. Give me a second. Okay, now let me share my screen once again so you can also check at this. Okay, so the activity I was telling you about, you will find it right here. Here. So present perfect worship, okay? So if you go into this activity, you will find the document, the file attached that you will have to develop as a homework. This one right here, present perfect. So you're gonna find this, right? You're gonna find the first activity, write the simple past and past participle of the following verbs, right? Right here you have the verb, simple past, and word. So in this way, you are gonna be practicing this. This is a similar activity. So right here, you have the simple past, and you will have to identify the simple form and the past participle, and so on with the rest of them. And right here, you have these sentences, and right here you have the possible verbs that you will have to complete them, complete with this, okay? So remember, so right here, you not only need to add the verb, but you will need also to add the auxiliary. So you will need to add, for example, we have, and what's the verb that makes sense with this, okay? So you will need to take a look and check it out. Let's say I met Barbara. Okay, I'm giving you Camila. You have a question?
Sí, una pregunta. ¿La tarea es para hoy día?
Es hasta mañana a las 7 de la mañana la pueden subir.
Ah, ya, ok, pensé que era para hoy día.
No, tienen hasta mañana, tienen toda la noche, y si desean hacerla por la mañana antes de clases, pues lo pueden hacer. Entonces,
ah, ya, ok.
Ajá.
Muchas gracias.
Ok. Ok.
Miss,
No, todavía no
otra
vayan a
cosita.
bajar. Cuéntame.
Miss, lo que pasa es que ahorita voy a apagar la cámara porque tengo que salir, porque tengo que ir a clases.
Ajá. Ok.
Entonces, me disculpa, Miss.
Ok. Permítanme que voy a modificar esto, porque yo no le había puesto tan larga, yo le había borrado un poco de cosas, y si les pongo todo eso, primero, te van a amanecer, creo, y segundo, me van a odiar.
No nos da el tiempo, Miss.
Sí, exacto. Por eso voy a cambiarlo ahorita, ¿ya? Solamente nos vamos a quedar con la primera de las oraciones. Permítanme un segundo.
Hasta el domingo, entonces.
¿Cómo?
Hasta el domingo, entonces.
O sea, la pueden hacer, por eso la voy a reducir ahorita, para que no tenga que hacerla tanto, porque si la pusiera como, o sea, como realmente la estoy poniendo ahí, sí les tendría que dar más tiempo, pero por eso la voy a modificar ahorita el documento, ¿ya? Permítanme un ratito, que no sé qué le está pasando a esto. Voy a volverla a abrir. Ya voy a subir el actualizado. Ok, there you go. Entonces son esta y la de acá. Les voy a subir de igual manera la lista de los verbos en caso de que no le hayan bajado aún. Just verifying it's Monday, November 18th, and okay, there you go. Camila, you have a question or that is the previous hand?
Sorry, Miss, that was the previous hand.
Okay. Saving this. Okay. There you go. So as you can see right here, you have to upload it in Word, and the deadline is until tomorrow at 7 a.m. Okay, right here you have the file, so you can work on the file, and just as a backup, you have the list of the irregular verbs. Remember that in this list, you will only find the irregular verbs. So you won't find look, play, cook, because those verbs are regular ones, okay? So any
Okay.
questions before you go? Yeah.
Teacher, eso se sube. Ah, bueno, ya vi, en Word, perdón.
Huh? Any other questions?
En el momento de abrir el archivo de Word, usted solo lo pasa como visualización.
¿Perdón?
O sea, cuando abrimos el archivo de Word, bueno, por lo menos a mí me pasa es que solo lo puedo visualizar, no lo puedo editar. No hay problema si se lo mandé como la actividad anterior, tipo por capturas, o si lo puede cambiar.
No, puedes ponerlo como captura, como tú desees, pero que siempre y cuando sea igual. Igual voy a tratar de modificar el documento y se los mando por el grupo de WhatsApp en caso que aquí no esté dando resultados, ¿ya?
Ya, gracias.
Okay. Any other question, guys?
O sea, usted nos pasa el documento ya modificado y subimos el Word a la plataforma.
Sí, un Word a la plataforma, completándolo.
Ya, gracias.
Okay. Okay, guys, any other question before you can actually leave? Check. Okay, I think that I already fixed it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna replace this file, but anyway, I'm going to send the file through WhatsApp. Okay, voy a reemplazar una vez más el documento que está aquí y también se los voy a enviar por WhatsApp, ok, para que cualquiera de las dos maneras lo utilice. Okay, guys, so no questions. I'm leaving right now. Okay, guys, so I see you tomorrow, okay? Have a great Saturday. Bye.
Miss.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye.
Bye.
Una consulta.
Sí, cuéntame.